Okay. 1 minute. Seven. Okay. Oh, hey there. All right. All right. Just a quick. Oh, I got my safety glasses on. Always have on your safety glasses when you're cutting, okay? I guess I have to talk a little bit louder because I'm further away. So, just a couple quick notes, research notes today, guys, on the anthrax letter case, Bruce Ivans. Really good, really intriguing Twitter space this morning on George Webb's Twitter handle. I forget exactly what the handle is right now, but you should be able to look up George Webb, WEBB, find it, with some new names that I was not aware of regarding the anthrax letters, Amerithrax going back to 2001. Just wanted to add a couple things to it. One is the context of the main company that people were most enthusiastic about winning the contract for the new anthrax vaccine back in 2001 was not VaxGen. It was not the company making the recombinant DNA vaccine. It was not VaxGen. It was Vical, VICAL. I'm going to repeat that. The main company with the big new technology that was fighting for the next generation of anthrax vaccines. While VaxGen ultimately did win those contracts, and they had recombinant, which was considered by some to be an improvement, the really exciting technology was transfection. The really exciting technology was electroporation. The really exciting technology was DNA vaccines. DNA vaccines. Very similar in many ways to the technologies that Inovio was trying to roll out for both Zika virus and then again with coronavirus. It was Vical, not VaxGen. At the time, as of September 11, 2001, Vical was still in the lead. Vical technology was the one being promoted by Sina Vivari. Vical was the company that Gary Nabel, director of the Vaccine Research Center, was partnering with since 1988, 1989. Vical, DNA recombinant technology, was the one that they were most excited about. So important to keep that in mind. And that was still the case. Oh yeah, and it was also Daryl Galloway was working with Vical technology. Again, partnering with Vical when he was with Ohio State. Nabel, Vical, Bavari, Vical, Galloway, Vical, Malone, patents with Vical, V-I-C-A-L. Vical was the company. Now, you may have a harder time finding information on Vical right now. Matter of fact, they don't even get to have a Wikipedia page. And that's how you know that Vical is what you want to know about. VaxGen, VaxGen, And of course, VaxGen it was announced that their recombinant technology was potentially working for AIDS. When? The morning of September 11th, 2001, by Robert Gallo. Now, actually, the announcement came out 2 or 3 days earlier. It was run in the newspapers on the morning of September 11th, 2001. Gallo wanted to go in that direction for reasons which I still don't quite understand, but it was Vical still. So if there was any motive, it was not, well, VaxGen, you could make a case it was VaxGen, and VaxGen eventually did win the contract, 970 or 930 million, which they could not fulfill. They couldn't make the new vaccines fast enough. But it was Vical. And look at all those names associated with Vical. And then trace it back to Inovio. Why did Inovio not win again? I'm really trying to figure out why Inovio lost out with Operation Warp Speed for coronavirus. I don't know. Anyways, please look into that. And then look at the names. If you look at the Wikipedia page for Stanley Plotkin, the only person that ever said a positive thing about him or was willing to have a positive quote put into the Wikipedia page was Vijay Samant, S-A-M-A-N-T, not Cement like I've been working on here, but Samant. Samant went on to be on the board of directors of Aeras, A-E-R-A-S, which has a tremendous amount of cross-pollination with who? Inovio. Vijay Samant, and then of course it was the previous director of Eras, E-R-A-S, who is now the current new CEO of Inovio. Jacqueline, I can't even remember her last name. I have so many names in my head. But these are the connections you need to know. And Plotkin, of course, was he a scientific director of Inovio? Yes, he was. He went to Inovio as well. Now, this electroporation thread matters because, remember, year 1999-2000, Robert Malone and Jill Glasspool Malone were doing what? Teaching electroporation and helping 2 Nigerians with getting their names on electroporation papers, who then, in turn, became the scientific directors of the Winber Institute, the Winber Cancer Research Institute, which was doing what? Tracking cancers for the U.S. military because of their high-speed connection with Walter Reed. Made possible, of course, by Internet 2, which a board member was Bob Gallo. So you can see there's some type of interesting competition going on there. My speculation has been that it was always meant to be Vical. Something happened, again, going back to 2001, where Vical didn't win the contract. So why did Vical, so the implications, if Vical had won, that meant that the U.S. military would have been exposed. They would have had to take the new generation of anthrax vaccines, not the recombinant stuff, but the Vical, electroporation, DNA, gene therapy, whatever you want to call it, real, honest to goodness, transfection. We know that what was coronavirus? It was the transfection horse race. 10 different ways of doing transfection with different lipid nanoparticles, different whatever. No diversity whatsoever in spike proteins, no diversity in anything else, just transfection methods. It was the transfection method horse race. Anyways, so please look that up. Oh yes, so, and they went on, and that Winver Center, what I believe, was going to be tracking this was the plan, tracking cancers in the military that they expected would happen in various new ways because they were going to be subjected on a mass scale to electroporation or transfection or DNA vaccines. That was the whole purpose of WinBer. It's the telltale that it was going to be Vical. It's the telltale that they expected cancers. Now, I don't know if they were expecting cancers to cripple the military to make the U.S., how would you say, accessible for a hostile takeover. Maybe. They did create a whole second military, Department of Homeland Security, after 9/11, after all, didn't they? Anyways, Emergent, I continue to have this interesting view on Emergent. One of the most important life-saving medications of the last 10 years anyways, has been Narcan, has been the medication which have saved people from dying from overdoses. The opioid epidemic, which I'm talking about extensively, would have been much, much worse if not for what is being made by Emergent. It would be much, much worse if it was not being made by Emergent and sold for a song. They don't make much money on it. There has been more money saved per dollar with Narcan than any other medication, sans perhaps some antibiotics, at least over the last few years. So I don't understand the constant anger at Emergent Biosystems and Cadillac. You have to calling a spade runs both ways, right? And it is what it is. If not for Emergent, if not for the availability of Narcan on 2 or 3 occasions, we wouldn't have a granddaughter right now. So why is Emergent on the tip of everyone's tongue as the evil company? I don't understand it. I'm going to give them a lot of rope. Not saying they're perfect. Not saying that I was a big fan of the Novavax. But I'm going to give them a lot of rope. Let's see here. So we covered that. The electroporation, the Shanksville connection. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Anyways, lots of good stuff. I'm really excited to see stuff moving forward with Bruce Ivins. I don't think that the VaxGen stuff, those patents, I just don't think it's the right direction to be going. You need to be focusing on Vical. But it's good, though, to see a couple new names come to the surface. Good to see a few names come to the surface. So with that said, I had my list here. And I will upload this now because I was able to record it in high def. And that's it, everyone. Thank you. Take care. We'll follow up with you later. God bless.